What if I told you that everything you think you know about time, how we measure it, celebrate it, and live by it, might actually be wrong? Imagine a reality where the calendar as we understand it is a carefully constructed illusion, one that disconnects us from our true spiritual nature and the natural rhythms of the universe. Picture a time when our lives flowed in perfect harmony with the cosmos, where the cycles of the moon, sun, and stars shaped our actions, celebrations, and our very understanding of existence. Such a world existed once, but over the centuries, it has been obscured by layers of political and religious manipulation. Today, we're going to peel back those layers and rediscover a truth that has been hidden for far too long. This truth resides within an ancient manuscript, a Bible from 1775 that challenges everything we think we know about time, spirituality, and our place in the universe. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Together, we'll embark on a journey of discovery that could change your perspective on the world forever. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lucas, and I have always been passionate about unraveling the mysteries of the past. Unlike scholars who spend their lives buried in books and ancient texts, my explorations often happen right here in the modern world, usually late at night, guided by the soft glow of my laptop screen. One evening, during one of these quiet moments, I stumbled upon a video by a relatively unknown researcher named Aaron Wells. His channel, Timeless Truths, caught my attention, especially a video titled The 1775 Bible That Changes Everything. In this video, Aaron held up an old, weathered Bible filled with the kind of wisdom that only time can bestow. Yet, it wasn't just the Bible's age that fascinated me. It was what it revealed. According to this Bible, the first month of the year wasn't January, it was March. The week didn't begin on Monday, but on Sunday, and most astonishingly, the year consisted of 13 months. As I watched, curiosity mixed with disbelief washed over me. How could this be true? Everything I had ever learned about time and calendars seemed to contradict it, yet there it was, an ancient text challenging the very foundation of our modern understanding of time. The more I pondered, the more questions emerged. Why did everything change? Who decided to rewrite the calendar, and for what purpose? What did we lose when these changes were made? My curiosity quickly ignited into a burning desire to uncover the truth. I realized that if I wanted answers, I would have to dig deeper, not just into history, but into the very fabric of how we perceive time and spirituality. Let's start with one of the most compelling revelations, the 13-month year. Today, the idea of a calendar with 13 months seems almost absurd. But for many ancient civilizations, it was not only natural but deeply spiritual. Cultures such as the Egyptians, Babylonians, and Hebrews based their lunar calendars on the phases of the moon. Each month began with a new moon and lasted approximately 29.5 days, resulting in a lunar year of about 354 days. To reconcile this lunar year with the solar year, an extra month was added every few years, creating a 13-month calendar. This wasn't just a technical adjustment, it reflected a profound connection with the natural world. The moon, with its cyclical phases, symbolized life's eternal cycles: birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. Each lunar phase carried its own energy, influencing the natural world, human behavior, and spiritual practices. But then something shifted. With the rise of the Roman Empire and the spread of Christianity, the 13-month lunar calendar was gradually replaced by the 12-month solar calendar. This shift represented more than a practical adjustment. It marked a profound transformation in how humanity understood time. The introduction of the Julian calendar by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE initiated this transition. The Julian calendar was a solar system designed to bring order and predictability to the expanding Roman Empire. It standardized the year into 12 months with 365.25 days, aligning time with the solar cycle rather than the lunar cycle. This change was driven by more than a need for accuracy. It reflected a shift in values, from a cyclical, nature-based understanding of time to a linear, structured one. The lunar calendar, with its 13 months, was deemed too fluid, too unpredictable for an empire that sought control and uniformity. By adopting a solar calendar, the Romans imposed a rigid structure on time, one that mirrored the political and social order they aimed to maintain. In doing so, they severed humanity's connection with the natural rhythms that had guided life for millennia. The 13th month, once a vital part of the calendar, was discarded, along with a deeper understanding of time. Spirituality was lost, and this shift had profound consequences. The lunar calendar wasn't just a way to mark time. It embodied a worldview that viewed life as an endless cycle. Birth, growth, death, and rebirth were seen not as isolated events, but as interconnected stages in a grand cosmic dance. The moon, with its ever-changing phases, served as a tangible reminder of this cycle, a reminder that everything in life is interlinked, that endings lead to new beginnings, and that time is not linear but circular. By replacing the 13-month lunar calendar with a 12-month solar calendar, humanity drifted away from this cyclical understanding of time. We began to perceive time as a straight line, a continuous progression from past to future, leaving little space for the fluidity and interconnectedness that the lunar calendar represented. As I dug deeper into the history of calendars, I started to notice a troubling pattern. Spiritual principles and natural rhythms were systematically replaced by rigid structures imposed by political and religious authorities. The more I learned, the clearer it became. This wasn't just about dates on a calendar. It was about our collective disconnection from the universe itself. This realization prompted me to explore the implications of this disconnection. How has our shift from a cyclical to a linear understanding of time impacted our lives, our spirituality, and our relationship with the world around us? The answers I found were both profound and unsettling. Let's first examine the spiritual implications. In many ancient cultures, time wasn't merely a way to measure days and months. It was a sacred concept, deeply intertwined with the cycles of nature and the cosmos. The lunar calendar, with its 13 months, mirrored this sacred understanding of time. Each month was linked to a specific phase of the moon, which corresponded to particular spiritual qualities and energies. For instance, the new moon marked a time of new beginnings, an opportunity to set intentions and sow seeds for the future. The full moon, bathed in radiant light, signaled a time for culmination and celebration, an occasion to reap the rewards of one's efforts. As the moon waned and gradually vanished from the sky, it invited reflection, release, and letting go, preparing for the next cycle. These lunar phases were not just abstract concepts. They were integral to the spiritual practices of the time. Rituals, festivals, and ceremonies were often timed to align with specific lunar phases, helping to synchronize human activities with the rhythms of the cosmos. This alignment was seen as essential for maintaining balance and harmony, both individually and within the community. However, when the 13th month was removed and the lunar cycle was replaced by the solar cycle, the sacred understanding of time was disrupted. Spiritual practices that had once been intimately connected to the rhythms of the moon became detached from their natural context. Rituals that once flowed with the lunar cycles were forced into a rigid solar framework, leading to a gradual erosion of the spiritual wisdom that had guided humanity for centuries. This disconnection has had significant implications for our spiritual lives. Without the lunar calendar's guidance, we've lost touch with the cyclical nature of existence. we've become estranged from the natural rhythms that govern our lives, and in doing so, we've lost a vital source of spiritual nourishment and guidance. But the effects of this shift go beyond spirituality. They permeate every aspect of our lives, from how we celebrate holidays to how we structure our weeks. Consider Christmas, for example. Traditionally observed on December 25th, Christmas is often viewed as a Christian adaptation of pagan winter solstice festivals. But what if Christmas, like many other holidays, was originally aligned with a different time of year, one that resonated more deeply with natural cycles? If March were the first month of the year, December 25th would fall in the 10th month, not at the end of the year. This raises intriguing questions about the origins and timing of our most cherished traditions. Could it be that by shifting the calendar, we've also altered the spiritual significance of these events? What if the true meaning of these holidays has been obscured by the changes imposed over the centuries? This brings us to another compelling question. Why was the 13th month removed from our calendar? The number 13 has long been associated with superstition and fear, especially in Western cultures. Yet in many ancient traditions, 13 was considered a sacred number, symbolizing transformation, rebirth, and the cycles of the moon. In numerology, the number 13 represents change and new beginnings, qualities closely tied to the spiritual journey. The removal of the 13th month from our calendar can be seen as a deliberate effort to distance society from the transformative energies that shape our existence. By aligning time with a more rigid, linear structure, we've moved away from the organic, cyclical nature of the cosmos. This shift has far-reaching implications. In abandoning the 13-month calendar, we haven't just lost touch with the natural cycles that once guided our lives. We've severed a vital connection to the spiritual wisdom these cycles embodied. The 13th month, symbolizing transformation and rebirth, reminded us that life is an ongoing process of growth, change, and renewal. Without it, our understanding of time has become static and fixed, devoid of the fluidity and dynamism inherent in the lunar calendar. But the consequences extend beyond the spiritual realm. They affect how we organize our societies, structure our work weeks, and even shape our worldview. One significant change resulting from the transition from a lunar to a solar calendar was the reordering of the days of the week. In the ancient world, Saturday, the Sabbath, was revered as the seventh day, a time for rest and spiritual renewal. This practice dates back to Judaism, where Saturday was observed as sacred, reflecting the biblical narrative of God resting on the seventh day after creation. However, with the rise of Christianity and Emperor Constantine's conversion to the faith, Sunday began to take center stage. Constantine, eager to unify his empire under a single religion, declared Sunday, the day of the sun, as the official day of rest and worship. This decision was not merely religious, it was also a political maneuver aimed at bridging the Christian and pagan populations of the empire. By aligning the day of worship with the sun, a symbol celebrated in many pagan traditions, Constantine effectively merged two worlds. Yet this change carried profound spiritual ramifications. Sunday, initially associated with renewal and the sun, transformed into the first day of the week, shifting the focus from rest and reflection to creation and new beginnings. The traditional order of the week, rich with spiritual significance, was altered, disrupting the natural flow of time. This reordering dramatically impacted how we perceive and experience time. The 7-day week, which emphasized rest and renewal at its conclusion, was replaced by a system prioritizing work and productivity. Sunday, as the first day of the week, became a day of action and creation, while Saturday, designated for rest, was marginalized, losing much of its spiritual importance. This shift reflects a broader cultural transformation, moving from a society that valued rest, reflection, and spiritual renewal to one that emphasizes work, productivity, and material success. The consequences of this change are still evident today. We inhabit a world where work dominates our lives, where rest is often seen as a luxury rather than a necessity, and where the spiritual dimensions of existence are frequently overshadowed by material demands. But what if we could reconnect with the ancient rhythms that once shaped our lives? What if we could restore the balance between work and rest, action and reflection, and the material and spiritual? The 1775 Bible suggests this is not only possible but essential for our well-being and spiritual growth. Imagine a world where the week starts with Sunday, a day of renewal and creation, and concludes with Saturday, a day of rest and contemplation. Envision a calendar featuring 13 months, each aligned with the phases of the moon, guiding us through cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Picture a year beginning in March, a time of awakening and renewal as the earth stirs back to life after winter. This vision is more than a dream. It represents a world where time transcends mere day counting. It becomes a sacred rhythm that connects us to the cosmos, the earth, and one another. To bring this vision to life, we must first understand the forces that have shaped our current perception of time. The shift from a lunar to a solar calendar was not just a logistical adjustment. It was a strategic move to impose order and control over a rapidly expanding empire. By standardizing time, the Roman Empire unified its diverse populations, synchronized religious observances, and established a uniform system of governance. However, this standardization came at a significant cost. In aligning time with the solar cycle, the Roman Empire marginalized the lunar calendar and the spiritual wisdom it represented. The moon's cycles, once vital for guiding agricultural practices, religious rituals, and spiritual growth, were replaced by a rigid linear framework, prioritizing control over connection. This disconnection from the natural rhythms of the cosmos has had lasting repercussions in our modern world. Time has become a relentless cycle of deadlines, schedules, and appointments, a constant rush forward that often leaves little space for reflection, renewal, or spiritual growth. We've drifted away from the cyclical nature of existence that once guided our ancestors. Yet it doesn't have to be this way. The 1775 Bible presents an alternative understanding of time, one that harmonizes with the rhythms of nature, the movements of celestial bodies, and the cosmic cycles. By re-establishing our connection with these ancient rhythms, we can bring balance and harmony back into our lives, rediscovering the spiritual wisdom that has faded over the centuries. This journey has led me to a powerful realization. How we measure time isn't merely a matter of convenience. It reflects our relationship with the world around us. By reclaiming the wisdom of the past, we can reconnect with the cycles that govern our existence, live in harmony with the natural world, and uncover the spiritual truths obscured by the passage of time. But this exploration is not solely about looking back. It's also about envisioning the future. As we delve into the implications of the 1775 Bible, we are prompted to consider how we might reshape our lives by reconnecting with the past. What if we experienced time as a cycle instead of a straight line? How would our lives transform if we aligned our practices, rituals, and celebrations with the natural rhythms of Earth and the cosmos? These aren't just abstract musings. They hold real-world significance for how we live. Embracing a more cyclical understanding of time can help us create a balanced and harmonious lifestyle, one that respects nature's rhythms, nurtures our spiritual growth, and deepens our connection to the world around us. For instance, consider the impact this shift could have on our work culture. In a society that often prioritizes productivity and efficiency, rest tends to be undervalued. However, by aligning our lives with the ancient rhythms found in the 1775 Bible, we might begin to view rest not as a luxury, but as an essential part of life's cycle. By re-establishing the importance of rest, reflection, and renewal, we can cultivate a more sustainable and fulfilling existence that honors both our work needs and our need for downtime. The effects of this shift reach beyond individual lives and into our communities. Imagine how our social fabric might transform if we celebrated holidays and rituals that resonate with the moon's cycles and the changing seasons. Reconnecting with these natural rhythms could foster a deeper sense of belonging and connection to each other and to the earth, ultimately creating a more holistic and sustainable way of living that supports both our spiritual and material well-being. But this journey doesn't stop here. As we continue to explore the teachings of the 1775 Bible, we're invited to apply this ancient wisdom to our daily lives. How can we realign our practices, rituals, and celebrations with the cosmos's natural rhythms? What steps can we take to restore balance and harmony in our lives, reconnecting with the cycles that govern our existence? The answers may be elusive, but the pursuit is worthwhile. By embracing this ancient wisdom, we can cultivate a more balanced, harmonious, and fulfilling way of life. One that honors nature's rhythms, supports our spiritual growth, and fosters a deeper connection with the world around us. As you reflect on these ideas, I encourage you to take the first step on your journey. Subscribe to our channel and like this video to stay connected with more content that challenges conventional views on time, history, and spirituality. Together, we can unveil truths that have long been hidden. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. The story of the 1775 Bible is just the tip of the iceberg. Countless mysteries await discovery, and I can't wait to explore them with you. Remember, the past holds the key to our future, if only we have the courage to seek it.